What's up, YouTube? So I'm surfing around YouTube and I see an interview with Kobe Bryant by Mr. Graham Bensinger. The interview entails Kobe Bryant talking about everything that went down with him and Shaq, the championships they won, why they broke up, and there's a couple other little details that happened between them. So let's listen in and see what they have to say.
You mentioned Shaq. You guys obviously had a very, very successful working relationship. I mean, 3 consecutive titles. You know, what more?
Yeah, you're damn right they had 3 consecutive titles, and they should have probably had 3 or 4 more on that. They could have easily got to 6 or 7 rings and surpassed Jordan. Easily. But because of their egos, everything was cut short. I mean, one person wants to be a leader, the other person wants to be the leader. No, I want to be the alpha. No, you be the alpha. You know, that type of fighting, they can't separate business from personal feelings. You may have a problem with somebody at work or on your team, but you don't let that interfere with your play. Whatever happens on the court stays on the court. Whatever happens off the court stays off the court. It's just that simple. It's a damn shame that Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal do not have more rings. They should have easily beat out Jordan. Kobe should have easily had 6 or 7 and beat out Jordan. Shaq should have definitely had 6 or 7. They should have stayed together. And their Golden State is running on the same lines of what happened with Kobe and Shaq. Except they have Draymond Green and Kevin Durant. But that's another subject. Let me go and get back to what they have to say here.
Could you ask for? But, I mean, nobody makes any secrets. There just wasn't the close relationship there that you might like with teammates. Why do you think you were unable to maintain that same working relationship for longer?
It just wasn't going to happen. It's not in the cards. I mean, there's things that I wanted to do with my career, take my career to another level, that I was just incapable of doing as long as we were playing together. And which I was fine with doing until I heard him say a few times that, you know, Kobe's not going to be as successful without me and, you know, this, that, and the other. And that kind of became the...
Look, you have to ignore what your teammate says about you. As long as you guys are playing and you guys are winning, they won 3 consecutive championships. 3 of them. Some people never get to the big show. You guys got to put your egos aside and whatever else is personal feelings aside and win rings. It's just that simple. Who cares what Shaq says about you? He says you can't win without him? Well, that's fine. Win all the rings you can with him. I mean, it's not that hard. It's simple. Take care of business on the court. Who cares what Shaq says?
Chatter. So now once that became a chatter, I was like, oh, wait, whoa. No.
Especially for a guy who's hyper competitive.
Yeah. It just wasn't going to work. So, you know, no matter what happened, even if we had won that championship, me being a free agent, there was just no way. I had to accept this challenge and had to see what I could do.
And you said in some ways part of the friction came from you both being very similar type of people.
Yeah.
In what ways?
Well, we're both alpha males, man. We both don't mess around. We don't beat around.
If you're both alpha males, then you should know how to be mature and take care of business on the court. An alpha male would separate personal feelings versus being at work and balling and getting rings. That's what an alpha male would do. An alpha male is not going to cry because somebody said something about him. Oh, well, he says I can't play without him. He says I won't win without him. That's not an alpha male. That's a beta male. That's a beta. Betas do stuff like that. They tuck their tails in. I mean, come on.
Around the bush, you know, and one of the big problems that he had with me is that I'm extremely brutally honest with my guys, you know, and it's just, you know, if a player's not working as hard as he should, I'm going to tell him. And, you know, and that includes somebody who's 7'3", 400 pounds.
How does a conversation like that go?
Probably not the smartest thing in the world to do, but, you know.
Look, Shaq even said it. He said he doesn't work hard in practice. He said he doesn't work hard in practice because of all the other guys that are there. They're going 100% full speed, so they might have a chance to brag that they beat Shaq up in practice. That's why Shaq said he doesn't work hard in practice. And you probably has more other things mixed in there. Shaq might be a little bit lazy. He might be talking about practice. Practice? We're talking about practice? Like what's his name said? I forgot his name. But we're talking about practice? As long as Shaq is doing what he needs to do on the court, you know what? Some things you got to get away with. Some people could turn it on. Allen Iverson. That was his name that talked about practice. Allen Iverson. I'm sorry. But anyways, as long as Shaq produces in the games, you're just going to have to set that he doesn't go hard in practice. But if he wins, hey, that's fine. You got to let some things go.
Right.
It is what it is.
Right. Yeah, how does a conversation like that, I mean, do you...
I don't
talk
pull
to
any punches.
somebody like him the same way you would any other teammate?
Oh, yeah, I don't pull any punches, man. And I think that's why it's such a great deal of respect still, from him to me and vice versa, is that he knows what I'm about. He knows I'm not going to sugarcoat things, and I'm going to be straight up and honest about them.
Any professional athlete, I mean, everybody is criticized, and I think the more successful the athlete you are, the more criticism you receive. There, you said, early on in an article I read, this is back from like your really young days in the league, that you were at the time confronted by veteran players over what they viewed as kind of selfish play on the basketball court. How much truth do you think there was to that then?
I think
when you're a superstar, when you're a winner, when your will to win, your drive is so high, you're naturally going to want the ball. You're naturally going to be a ball hog because your work ethic, everything you want to put, you want to win. You want to take it over. You want to be in control, like Michael Jordan. And unlike LeBron James, who doesn't want the ball when it counts. He doesn't want to shoot the last shot. He'll defer to somebody else, like Kyrie or Ray Allen. But that's for another video.
It's it probably was some to the extent of when I would decide to be aggressive and when, it was time to kind of more utilize my teammates, because I was full throttle all the time. And so, they would view that as selfishness, but the reality was just decision making of when to attack, when to pull back, when to trust your teammates, when to get this guy going, when to get that guy going, and then when to hit the throttle and attack. So I had to kind of figure out the balance of, the game. Mm-hmm. And then when to go and when not to go, because at 19, 20 years old, man, I was full throttle, man.
And what was that like for you, figuring out the balance of the game?
It was fun. I mean, it was a great challenge. And it's I think I was very fortunate to have to try to figure that out, because most of my peers never learned that because they didn't have to. They were on a team that was, happy to make it to playoffs. And that was the situation I was in. They needed me to win a championship, and to do that, they needed me to figure out that balance and figure it out ASAP. Mm-hmm. And I think because of that, it made me a much better player.
What about figuring it out do you think made you a better player?
I had great coaching. Phil Jackson and Tex Winter who...
Kobe had superior coaching. Absolutely superior coaching. When Phil Jackson came along, it was over. It was absolutely over. I mean, you talk about one guy that coached the GOATs, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Phil Jackson, but I could win championships if I was a head coach, if I had Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but that's like winning the lottery twice. You're coaching Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, and you throw in there Shaquille O'Neal? Jeez.
I call Master Yoda.
And you called him even before Phil Jackson even came to coach.
Because I recognize his intelligence level, his genius. And I wanted to learn from him, and it just so happened he came and coached us the following year. And I had a chance to kind of really pick his brain and understand the game, and I think just my basketball IQ went to another level because of them.
And what was it you're trying to learn?
The momentums of the game, and when to use your teammates, and when to pick your spots, and how to pick them, and how to read the defense, to take advantage of certain situations and scenarios, and understanding the shot clock and the timing and all this other stuff. And I couldn't figure it out on my own. I mean, I was very, very, very fortunate to have Phil and Tech.